8:43, we're back. Live shot from Century Plaza Hotel and Spa. Now time to talk about how to stage your home to sell if you're looking of getting into the market. Jane Crompton from Urban Presentations joining us. It's like a battle of the Blazers right here. Nice color.
Like this?
Well, color is one of the things that stands out, but what is your philosophy when you work with clients and you want to help them stage their home? What type of experience do you want to create for the potential buyer?
I often say to clients, think of it like a hotel, right? Everything just looks so clean and fresh, and those beautiful spa-like white towels. So think of it that way. You know someone's been there before, you just don't want to know. So we want to create that really beautiful, lovely experience.
Well, you have 5 key tips that we're going to cover off of staging your home for success here. And let's start with the first one of potentially repurposing your flex room. It could be a den, it could be an office. So here's a before shot of what you encountered here. And what goes through your head when you look at this?
Okay, so this is an office space, fairly, usable. It looks great. However, what the realtor really wanted to do with this was appeal to a broader market, so to include families. So what we did and how we stage it in the aftershot you'll see here is as a nursery. So able to expand it to think of a different alternative way to use the space. We increase the value. And I would also encourage people, think about that gym that you've got in your basement that you're really not using. Think about turning that into maybe a media room.
And creating the expansive feel. I see expansion right there, but editing the space, expanding that look and feel. Tell us about how you can do this, and let's look at a before example for this of how you started.
Absolutely. Really, really critical here. We talk about how to change up that space. So in this particular photo, what you're going to see is a very large sofa in a somewhat smaller living room. It really dominates the space. It's also blocking off, if you can look at the far back behind the sofa, the entranceway to the patio. So we don't want to block traffic flow. So as you'll see in the next photo, what we've done here is expanded the space by choosing appropriately sized scale and proportion of furniture. So smaller sofa, but it's appropriately sized for the space. We now have full access out to the patio. We've included things such as the glass tabletop, which doesn't take up a visual footprint. So because you can see through it, it keeps the eye moving, and it just gives a much more expansive, cohesive look.
Okay, sizing is important, so is neutralizing the space, depersonalizing the space. So what do you find commonly when you walk in?
Well, again, we really want to depersonalize the space, which means removing things that are too specific and too personal. Family photographs, mementos, even sports affiliations.
Underwear on the shower
Absolutely.
rod.
If you've got the Canucks jersey hanging on the living room wall, you got to take that down. So in this particular image, what we see here is probably typical of most bathrooms. A lot of your personal products around, clothing on the curtain rod. For a prospective home buyer, that's distracting. Potentially could be an awkward and uncomfortable for them, and they feel like they're invading your space, and we don't ever want to have that kind of feeling. So as you see in the after shot here, just clean lines, remove all of the clutter, some folded towels, and beautiful floral, and it looks great.
Let's build on this point about decluttering the chaos, because sometimes you can walk into a space where everything's laid out in the way you think, hey, this is pretty tidy, but it can be overwhelming for a potential buyer.
Exactly. And so these are things, again, we're used to having our own stuff around us, but it can be seen as clutter by someone else. So having someone come in with fresh eyes to take a look at the space really is going to be helpful. So sometimes that's a family friend or someone that you can trust to say, hey, there's a lot of stuff in here, let's bring it back a bit. So, and again, as a stager, that's where we come in. So you'll see in this particular example here, lovely kitchen, but there's just a lot of items on the countertop and also above the cabinetry. You'll see a lot of items. It's distracting. The eye doesn't know where to land. In the after shot, all of the surface clutter has been removed and just replaced with some strategic pieces. What this does is expand the space. You can see the beautiful backsplash area and the expansiveness of the cupboards, and that's really what we want to have buyers focus on.
We only have a few seconds, but curb appeal, outside looking in, how important is that?
Don't forget the exterior. Take a walk around your place, look at things that can be enhanced, and pay particular attention to the front door. In this example, wow. They needed to do some real trimming and remove some of the foliage. As you can see in the after shot, it looks beautiful. Really frames the home, so really important. Pay attention to the exterior as well.
We cover off the foundation. UrbanPresentations.com is the website. Jane, thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
I need to get a blazer like this now, too.
Pretty cool.
Fashion tips as well.